Hello everybody, welcome back to another video for the day. Now we're diving right back into r/talesofneckbeard because you know you gotta love story time. But beforehand, be sure to like the video, comment down below what you like about the video during the video, and afterwards consider subscribing. Alrighty, let's get right into that lovely cringe, let's go. Our first story comes to us from the Heckhound, a neckbeardy guildmaster. So hello y'alls, how's it doing? I'm new to posting, not just lurking around here, but I think I have a story to share that might just fit in here, ? Sorry for the weird formatting, phone user, and possible grammar mistakes and all, not a native speaker. It may also be hectic, but as it's just a memory now and all receipts are done as I was blocked by him on multiple platforms. Anyway, to start off, I can say that I am a pretty big fan of Guild Wars and its sequel, and over the years of playing, I have met quite a bunch over the game, but also quite a few people who I wouldn't dare approaching IRL or in-game anymore in that matter, given GW2 is less opted on team activities and is much more lone wolf oriented and accessible. I was content for years being just that, but after 3 to 4 years into a game, I was invited into one of the few national guilds. Great in it? Right, yeah, I would thought that too, nice local people, cool. Psych though, the moment people found out I am a female, all heck broke loose. Most of the people took it at chill, not really caring that I was a girl, but a few, including the guildmaster, were ready to shot their pants over the fact. Apparently, there were some others, fellow gamerettes, but surprisingly, they didn't want to participate in team/guild building activities. I always wondered why. Fast forward a few weeks, I was after a break from the game and came back. The guildmaster was just about to burst, all happy I was back. Then the nagging about joining TeamSpeak group to talk started. At first I was reluctant, but at the end of the day, what could happen? So I joined. At first it was quite enjoyable, but soon it turned sour, and I can only say that if it were not for the nicer people there, I'd be gone fast as frick. It turns out our guildmaster was around 40ish, I think, probably nearing 50 the way he spoke about life and job and him dating some hot chick whose father was younger than him, and he just could not resist basically harassing me by the time as 17, nearly 18-year-old self with increasingly sexual questions and implications. Me being a fool, I even added him on Facebook through a guild group to let him harass me there as well, though I quickly learned how to just ignore him. I could hold my own, and other boys/actual friends would help me dissolve those TeamSpeak situations, but there's only so much they can do, especially off the comms, right? But still, the gain from being with others outweighed the torment. So after a year or so in the guild, there was an IRL meeting, and I, stupid enough, agreed that I will come as well to see my friends and quote-unquote friends. Let's just say I traveled 2 hours to our capital just to leave the meeting and go shopping instead before going back home because the old geezer was your typically oily, quite disgusting old dad type that visibly smelled of beer from a kilometer away with unkempt hair and some weird facial hair. You can't even call it beard. I could see the way his eyes lit up when he noticed me nearing the group. All the red flags went off, and I said hi to others politely, greeting to those I didn't know, and left, busy with some things in the capital. What a coincidence, right? After that, I felt even less comfortable, knowing the man behind faceless profile on Facebook was a man I would avoid whilst seeing him on the street because of his look and his smell. Last straw was near the New Year's Eve. Before Christmas, I finally managed to voice my discomfort about topics he would choose to bomb me with, but didn't want ruining my family Christmas time. He wasn't that happy, scoffing about being soft and no fun, quote-unquote, out of the blue, but somehow complied, over the Christmas at least. At New Year's Eve, me being the polite type, I at least tried to wish him all the best in the new year and all, but instead of a polite reply, I got a weird, sexually implicit messages again and a photo looking like a stock photo from Google Images of some young teen to early 20s girl, stark nude, with her spread legs, him trying to persuade me it's his girlfriend, and shite is sending her regards as well, after I told him I'm not comfortable with that stuff and being underage still. So I went off, as passively aggressively told him to frick off, that I only asked to be treated with respect, not wanting to see and hear about anything nearly sexual from a goblin such as himself, and he still managed to be a donghead and a complete bag of shot. He answered with some slurs, me apparently being the idiot and a stupid cow, and then immediately blocked me, probably thinking he had a moral high ground or what. So I turned to the game, sending him a mail explaining, calmer now, if he really thought that his behavior was normal, he should seek some medical help and or at least think about his actions next time he speaks with someone like me, and even through that, I wished him nothing but the best for the new year, wrapped by me leaving the guild. What I got back was only some more slurs, me apparently thinking with my coochie, whatever was that supposed to mean, and even more slurs and being blocked again. What a great mature guy, lol. Best part was probably the fact that even weeks later, he spoke about me with such violent intent and venom that some other people who were updated on my side of the story with receipts left the guild when they realized what a pig he really was. Together, we joined different guilds that allowed me meeting so many lovely people. I am really good friends with even an IRL. Also, some other people stood up to him and he blocked them everywhere and kicked them out of the guild as well. TLDR, old greasy neckbeardy guildmaster talked neckbeard sexual inappropriate shot on an underage girl, proceeded to sending her pieces of off-brand which she didn't like and approve, nor consent of. She told him he was a disgusting pig and left the guild. He slurred her, blocked her everywhere, and she let her friends and left for a better group of people. That was a long one and all over the place, but I had to get this off my chest. Let me end with a reminder for all gamer girls out there. Do not feel forced into doing/enduring something you don't like or don't give consent on. No one is entitled to scar you like that, especially not over the internet or the game you like. There are plenty more fish in the sea and plenty more tastier and more polite at that. Take care and sorry for the mess again. You know, I have to say, I very much do appreciate that last final message. It really does come down to just simply exiting out and just leaving the group. You will find more people to be able to hang with and much better people at the same time at that. And don't worry, it might not come immediately, but don't run back to somebody who you don't like just because it doesn't happen right away. It's gonna change, and just give it time. Our next story comes for us for a username Pumpkin Bulbasaur. Neckbeard bites my lips. Ew. TLDR at bottom. Earlier today, I had a pushy dude insisting on taking me out to ribs. My grandma insisted that I go, so I figured whatever. Worst comes to worst, I get some ribs from a good barbecue place near us. I arrive at the restaurant and he's already there. He doesn't look like his profile pic, but it's definitely his car. Figuring I'd just go with it and see if he's anything like how he was over text before he got pushy, I approach. He actually is quite pleasant and doesn't really put me off at first. Definitely older than claimed to be, but whatever. Dude has to be at least 35 when he claimed to be 24. We get in and our first 30 minutes of conversation are completely normal and chill, so I'm figuring I'll politely let him down easy. I'm really not interested in someone that much older than me who also is not interested in farming. Since I'm enjoying the conversation so far, I figure I'll give it a little bit, maybe it won't be so bad to try to just be friends. The second half of our dinner date is when it started to go downhill. The dude started going on about how he loved that I was such a homemaker. He was also so glad that I had a birthing hips and a fuller figure to carry children. He loved that I was so passionate about providing food for my future family and how he knew I was building up my farm for him and his kids. How he was so glad that I wanted to be a homemaker and how he definitely would make sure I didn't have to leave my farm for anything. It was so creepy and unsettling, and I wasn't really sure how to go about leaving without him following me out to my car. The part that sealed the deal for me wanting to leave immediately was when he started going on about how he loved that I didn't wear makeup and knew I would set a great example of what women should be for his kids. I faked receiving a call from one of my neighbors and called my friend G. Thankfully, G knew he was my go-to if I call on this date I'm making up to get me out of this in case the dude is listening helpline. G immediately began talking about how the lambs were in need of help and I needed to get home now. I'm hard of hearing, so my phone was definitely loud enough for the dude to hear the whole conversation with how he was leaning across the table. I immediately stand up, putting the $20 I brought for my half of the meal in case I decided to ditch early. I let the dude know I have an emergency I need to take care of, and I hang up with G. As I'm getting my jacket on, the dude spins me around and slips the 20 in my breast pocket on my jacket. He then moves quicker than I thought possible and bites my lip in front of everyone in the restaurant. Like, not nip or a gentle bite, but a full-on bite. Not feeling bad about ditching anymore, I punch him in his nose and he starts going on about how I need to quit talking to other men. He attempts to grab me, so I give another solid hit to his jaw. The crack noise was satisfying and comforting to my ears. I'm also quite proud to say his eyes were already noticeably swelling. Grandma didn't raise no weaklings. I just took this moment of confusion to quickly begin walking away. A waiter and hostess approached me as I walked, stating they saw what happened and asked if I wanted anyone called. Just wanting to go home, I waved them off and hurried and left for my car to get home. The police in my small town know me from where I used to work up until last week, so if I'm needed, they'll find me easily. I've had one other date end badly, and they've met me at my house before. No one came over tonight as of writing this at 1 a.m., so I'm assuming no authorities were called. I just have a bruise and swollen bottom lip, and my upper lip was bleeding in a few places earlier. Thankfully, I'm all good now, and I'm sure the swelling will hopefully be gone in the morning. I'm also super thankful that I did MMA training with my brother as teenagers. I really don't think I'd have the relatively quiet outcome I have if I didn't. TLDR, Neckbeard takes me out for ribs, goes on a creepy rant, bites my lip hard with the quickness I didn't expect, gets nose punched, tries to grab me, gets jaw punched, and I go home. And with that, that is going to have to be it for the video. If you would like what you had seen, be sure to like the video, comment down below what you liked about the video, and consider subscribing to the channel and becoming part of the ever-growing amazing notification squad. I'll be sure to see you guys in the next one. Thank you so much for watching, and bye-bye.